妈的好啊。
Shout out to LTTV.
Your LTTV, Blunt Talk with LT, back at it with another video. All right, this time we got a bit of a reaction here. Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan apologizes for his use of the N-word. Spotify says they are not canceling him. Let's pull up the article here. All right, so Spotify CEO said in a letter that he has no plans to remove the star podcaster from streaming platform. All right, so this is apples and oranges when it comes to comparing what's happening with Whoopi Goldberg and Joe Rogan. Everything, hold on, y'all, hold on. All right, so everything Joe Rogan said, this entire nigga compilation we're about to listen to, was prior to his Spotify deal. I looked at Joe Rogan's understanding of the use of the word, and I'm like, yeah, he doesn't get it. Because I've been watching Joe Rogan's podcast for years. When I first started getting into podcasting, I was observing his podcast, Brilliant Idiots, a bunch of other podcasts, but he was one of the first podcasts I watched and listened to. So I heard him say these words, I heard him say it before, but it was all in relation to referencing somebody else's use of the term. I understood that he didn't get it because he continuously used it. I didn't hold it against him. I wasn't screaming for him to be canceled, but I witnessed most of the niggas said in this compilation we're about to get in while live. And I like, so for me to try to cancel Joe Rogan now will be cap as hell. I'm not the authority on all niggas and how they feel about this situation, so feel how you want to feel. But for me, it'd be cap as hell for me to try to cancel him from this because I witnessed the whole thing. I was annoyed when he was saying it. I was like, nigga, you don't get it. You're supposed to say N-word even if you're referencing something that was said before. But his understanding of it was kind of warped. I understand a lot of people's understanding of his warped because they're at rap concerts saying it while the rapper's saying it in the song. When it comes to movies, you have movies like Django and all sorts of slave movies where the white characters are saying it. And they're like, oh, it's just a movie. Vince McMahon once said it on the WWE or WWF at the time. So some white people's understanding of the use, they're like, oh, we're not supposed to say it, but they think they have passes sometimes. We're going to get into the entire comp because it's not just Joe Rogan. There is others. Hold on.
Ranch.
His ranch was called Niggerhead. Fucking Jews and niggers and
nigger lover on it.
Which is
all right. So we're gonna start from the start though. All right, here we go.
I have always stood there. I have other feelings about it, but those are nuances that are not meant for this moment. He shouldn't even be saying it. And so the confluence of energies comes into play here. So now we have this person who is offensive to a lot of people, who's paid $100 million. Spotify, the backbone of Spotify is the music.
like, you know, the nigger thing.
Yes.
All right, so she said the backbone of Spotify is the music. Well, Spotify has been making a conscious effort to try to catch Apple Podcasts in listeners. And you see their trajectory right here. That's why they signed Rogan. or it's not even signed Rogan. They made a licensing deal with Rogan. People are like, oh, Rogan gets to say, but they're trying to cancel Whoopi Goldberg. She was suspended. Whoopi Goldberg works for a network. She works for CBS, owned by the very same community. Well, I can't say that. I'm not going to say that. I don't know the owners, but nonetheless, I don't agree with Whoopi Goldberg getting suspended at all. I'm going to do a separate breakdown for that because that's its whole separate breakdown. I don't agree with her getting suspended. I don't agree with people trying to cancel Joe Rogan either because this is shit from the past. This is all shit from the past. And it doesn't excuse it, but they did the deal knowing that these were in the episodes. All the episodes that this was said in has been stripped off Spotify. So these comps only really exist on social media. A part of the Spotify deal was no censorship. But of course, Joe Rogan's going to compromise on this one and be like, yeah, I fucked up. This should not be on the platform because these were all YouTube episodes. So this is all on this is all YouTube. This is all on YouTube. So when people trying to cancel him on Spotify and talk about his $100 million deal, they're just watching his bread because at the end of the day, Joe Rogan can take his podcast. He owns the IP. He can take it off of Spotify if Spotify wanted to fuck up their money, which they already paid Joe Rogan most of it. It's a bad investment for Spotify to just basically, what the hell did I press? God damn it. It's a bad move for Spotify if they if they try to cancel Joe Rogan for this, especially the fact that it was before he was on the platform. Just take down the episodes. That's what they did. They're all old episodes. These are all on YouTube. So at the end of the day, people should have been screaming for YouTube to cancel him if that's what the energy was, because these were all YouTube episodes. Let's get into it.
Spotify, the backbone of Spotify is...
I'm not justifying... I got to make it very clear. I'm not justifying his use of the word. He was definitely wrong. Definitely wrong.
Music.
Like, you know,
The nigger thing.
yes.
saying the word nigger.
I've already said nigger.
D is just like nigger. Saying nigger.
She's calling you a nigger. It's like this boy that he's a nigger and starts calling them niggers. Word nigger. There should be a word like nigger, especially like the word nigger. That's our nigger. About niggers. He said nigger. Guy, a nigger. And then there are niggers. Start saying nigger. Allowed to use the word nigger. Out the word nigger. See nigger. Word nigger. Say nigger and he couldn't say nigger. And most nigger. Nigger.
Hello, friends. I'm making
I don't know, man. I'm immature for that one because that pause just made that one funny. But all right, let's get into the apology.
this video to talk about the most regretful and shameful thing that I've ever had to talk about publicly. There's a video that's out that's a compilation of me saying the N-word. It's a video that's made of clips taken out of context of me of 12 years of conversations on my podcast, and it's all smushed together, and it looks fucking horrible, even to me. Now, I know that to most people, there's no context where a white person is ever allowed to say that word, never mind publicly on a podcast. And I agree with that now. I haven't said it in years, but for a long time, when I would bring that word up, like if it would come up in conversation, instead of saying the N-word, I would just say the word. I thought as long as it was in context, people would understand what I was doing. Like that context was part of the clip we were talking about Red Fox, how Red Fox said that word on television in the 1970s, and how times have.
That's the problem. Times have changed, but people still have a loose understanding of it because we've seen white comedians in the past use it, but that's like way in the past. But when it comes to current day and age, we've seen it up as recent as Django. We've seen white actors loosely use the term. So, of course, people are going to get confused at when they can use it and when they cannot. And it's like, you can't, period. But we needed to be more strict on the movie studios and be like, we ain't having that. But we're not. We're like, oh, it's just a movie. But everything flies in movies. But we complain about the same activities when it's on YouTube, whether it's in the music. But everything flies in the movies. So that's where a lot of people say it and they fuck up and they're like, come on, man. They don't realize how badly they fucked up because they're just like, oh, I'm just using it in context. It's like, nah, you're not supposed to use it at all. I'm not making an excuse for his understanding. I'm just understanding his perspective.
What I was doing. Like that context was part of the clip we were talking about Red Fox, how Red Fox said that word on television in the 1970s, and how times have changed so much since then. Or about how Richard Pryor used it as one of the titles of one of his albums. Or I was quoting a Lenny Bruce bit, or I was quoting.
But you see what we're doing here? We're letting them know. We're correcting what was wrong instead of trying to cancel. So he acknowledges that he knows what was wrong. If he does it in the future, then it's kind of like, okay, you can't really, it's inexcusable at that point. But you correct the wrong speech and you move forward.
A Paul Mooney bit, or I was talking about how Quentin Tarantino used it repeatedly in Pulp Fiction, or I was talking about how a Netflix executive, ironically, used it because he was trying to compare it to another offensive word. He said it out loud, and they fired him. Not calling anybody or just saying the word out loud. I was also talking about how there's not another word like it in the entire English language, because it's a word where only one group of people is allowed to use it, and they can use it in so many different ways.
Yep.
Like if a white person says that word, it's racist and toxic, but a black person.
All right. Obviously, when niggas say the word nigga,
We don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
regardless of context, most niggas, they see a random white person use that word and they're like,
I'm about to add that hoe out.
it's not your word. I'm sure Joe Rogan understands that now.
You can use it, and it could be a punchline. It could be a term of endearment. It could be lyrics to a rap song. It could be a positive affirmation. It's a very unusual word, but it's not my word to use. I'm well aware of that now, but for years I used it in that manner. I never used it to be racist because I'm not racist, but whenever you're in a situation where you have to say, I'm not racist, you fucked up. And I clearly have fucked up. And that's my intention to express myself in this video. To say, there's nothing I can do to take that back. I wish I could. Obviously, that's not possible. I do hope that, if anything, that this can be a teachable moment. Because I never thought it would ever be taken out of context and put in a video like that. And now that it is, holy shit, it looks bad.
All right, teachable moment. This is a big trending topic. Everybody's aware of this going on right now. This is a teachable moment. There is no excuses from anybody else after. And we have to enforce that bullshit in movies and TV. If we got to be all the way around about this shit, because then the logic is very inconsistent.
And it's part of also me doing this podcast for thousands of hours, thousands of episodes, over 12 years. I said a lot of fucking stupid shit, which is fine when you're talking about most things, but not when you're talking.
Here, this is the thing. Everybody that does podcasts, speaking engagements, broadcasts like these have said a bunch of stupid shit. If people start clawing through my archives of videos, oh man, I'm sealed. I said a bunch of stupid shit.
Get a job, nigger.
Talking about race. And there's another clip that I have to address. There's a clip from 11 years ago. I was telling a story on the podcast about how me and my friend Tommy and his girlfriend, we got really high. We were in Philadelphia, and we went to go see Planet of the Apes. And we didn't know where we were going. We just got dropped off by a cab, and we got dropped off in this all-black neighborhood. And I was trying to make the story entertaining, and I said we got out, and it was like we were in Africa. It's like we were in Planet of the Apes. I did not, nor would I ever say that black people are apes, but it sure fucking sounded like that. And I immediately afterwards said, that's a racist thing to say.
Yeah, you did.
Planet of the Apes wasn't even in Africa. I was just saying there's a lot of black people there. But then I went on to talk about what a positive experience it was and how much fun it was to go to see this movie in a black neighborhood. It wasn't a racist story, but it sounded terrible. And like I said, you can have clunky stories about anything, but not about race. And so I deleted that whole podcast, but obviously somebody made a clip out of it and taken out of context. It looks terrible, but it looks terrible even in context. It's a fucking idiotic thing to say. And I was just trying to be entertaining. I certainly wasn't trying to be racist. And I certainly would never want to offend someone for entertainment with something as stupid as racism. My hope is that, look, I can't go back in time and change what I've said. I wish I could. Obviously, that's not possible. But I do hope that this can be a teachable moment for anybody that doesn't realize how offensive that word can be coming out of a white person's mouth, in context or out of context. My sincere and humble apologies. I wish there was more that I could say, but all of this is just me talking from the bottom of my heart. It makes me sick watching that video, but hopefully at least some of you will accept this and understand where I'm coming from. My apologies and much love. My sincere, deepest apologies and much love.
All right, so make sure you hit that like button upon entry. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. We have a little bit more here.
I apologize.
Oh, no, that was the end of his apology. But we have other people loosely using the word. The Rock is also under fire. We're going to get into that right after we get through this comp of niggertry. So let's get into it.
Apologize. I know these are like difficult words to hear. Words like nigger and fat.
Much love. My
What happened to the sound? God damn.
sincere, deepest apologies and much love.
I apologize. I know these are like difficult words to hear, but words like nigger and fag. Nigger. You niggers are why I lost my job. He only shot a nigger. Run, nigger, run.
Nigger.
Nani? What?
Words to hear, but words like nigger and fag. Nigger. You niggers are why I lost my job. He only shot a nigger. Run, nigger, run.
Nigger.
Nigger this or nigger that. Okay, so
What?
they're like, all right, you cover that Jerry Rice looking nigga.
Whatever, niggerhead.
Nigger.
Nigger lick.
He canceled his weekend at Niggerhead Ranch.
His ranch was called Niggerhead. Fucking Jews and niggers.
Nigger lover on it.
Which is better, nigger or cracker?
It was apparently called Niggerhead.
Oh, you're a nigger?
Doing fucking nothing and being a lazy nigger.
They were nigger lovers.
It don't give a nigger time to learn his lesson.
White crackers.
Yeah.
Does that mean now we can say black niggers?
Oh, what the hell?
Nigger.
They were nigger lovers.
It don't give a nigger time to learn his lesson.
White crackers.
Yeah.
Does that mean now we can say black niggers?
They will.
Come on, man.
That one was absolutely ridiculous. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? See, this is the left liberal media, the Young Turks. A lot of the left was coming for Joe Rogan, trying to cancel Joe Rogan. And it's like, look at this on the other end.
Oh, they're like, all right, you cover that Jerry Rice looking nigga.
Whatever, niggerhead.
Nigger.
Nigger lick.
He canceled his weekend at Niggerhead Ranch.
His ranch was called Niggerhead. Fucking Jews and niggers.
Nigger lover on it.
Which is better?
Who's the GM? I want him going. I want him going now. How did this happen? Who was the idiot that did this?
A nigger. Run, nigger, run.
Nigger.
Nigger this or nigger that. Okay, so they're like, all right, you cover that Jerry Rice looking nigga.
Whatever, niggerhead.
Nigger.
Nigger lick.
He canceled his weekend at Niggerhead Ranch.
His ranch was called Niggerhead. Fucking Jews and niggers.
Nigger lover on it.
Which is better, nigger or cracker?
It was apparently called Niggerhead.
Oh, you're a nigger?
Doing fucking nothing and being a lazy nigger.
They were nigger lovers.
How do you do that?
You can't allow these motherfuckers to cancel you and then do the same shit in your face.
It don't give a nigger time to learn his lesson.
White crackers.
Yeah.
Does that mean now we can say black niggers?
There will never be a nigger.
All right. So The Rock, who was supporting Joe Rogan, under fire for supporting Joe Rogan after the nigga compilation came out. So somebody, Don Winslow, I don't know who this is. He's a verified user. What useless news. Let's just get into the top. Let's get into his statement. He said, "You're a hero to many people, and using your platform to defend Joe Rogan, a guy who used and laughed about using the N-word dozens of times, is a terrible use of your power. Have you actually listened to this man's many racist statements about black people?" The Rock responded with, "Dear Don Winslow, thank you so much for this. I hear you as well as everyone here 100%. I was not aware of his N-word use prior to my comments, but now I've become educated to his complete narrative, learning moment for me." And then, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Have a good weekend. So The Rock is getting flack for switching sides, flip-flopping, although he is also black, so he has his own, he can feel how he wants to feel about Joe Rogan's use of the word nigga. So he might be a little more offended than someone like me who was watching it the entire time while it happened and was like, damn, this nigga's wrong for his use of it, but I wasn't even that mad. I wasn't that upset. I wasn't calling for him to be canceled. I seen those episodes on YouTube while it happened. If I were to be mad now, that's like a me too. It's like, I can't be doing that. But The Rock canceled his support for him. So people are getting at The Rock. People are mad at The Rock for flip-flopping, pretty much bowing down to the left and the pressure, the social pressure. So they brought up this comp of The Rock saying racially insensitive things. Honestly, before we get into this comp, I'm gonna speak about the comp. This comp is absolutely ridiculous because all of them were wrestling related. These were wrestling promos, WWE. So it's like, now wrestling is real.
We don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
Let's get into it.
The Rock didn't run over Stone Cold, and who did? Who's going to step forward?
Now, Mick, if you need even further clarification, let The Rock tell you in Chinese.
And look at Chinese.
Ding bang ding dong, he's Stone Cold. Aye!
Is ridiculous. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Yo, I don't know who cut this up, but they added that UFC Rogan reaction. Nah, we gotta pull this back. Pause. We have to pull this back.
Okay, if The Rock didn't run over Stone Cold, then who did? Who's going to step forward?
Now, Mick, if you need even further clarification, let The Rock tell you in Chinese.
And look at Chinese.
Ding bang ding dong, he's Stone Cold. Aye!
Is ridiculous. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Like a bloated transvestite Wonder Woman, ready to fight crime. Pew, 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 pew.
That's not bad. Let's be real. Especially the John Cena one at the end with the Wonder Woman, transvestite Wonder Woman shit. That's a joke. These are all jokes. These are all wrestling promos. This is not that serious. It's not that serious at all. I think The Rock should stood his ground on the matter. But, you know, it is what it is. He thinks differently about that. The Rock is an actor at the end of the day. Actors really have to toe the line of being really politically correct. But if we're canceling Joe for what he said,
like nigger, especially like the word nigger. That's our nigger. About niggers. He says nigger. Guy, a nigger. And there are niggers. Start saying nigger. Allowed to use the word nigger. Out the word nigger. See nigger. Word nigger. Say nigger and you couldn't say nigger. What's nigger? Nigger.
Oh, I just ruined that.
There are niggers. Start saying nigger. Allowed to use the word nigger. Out the word nigger. See nigger. Word nigger. Say nigger and you couldn't say nigger. What's nigger? Nigger.
Hello, friends. I'm making.
I kind of overdid it with the replay of the nigger, but it shows so much I actually care. I knew this was gonna be demonetized from the start, so I'm like, fuck it, let's run wild a little bit. But make sure you hit that like button. There's twice as much people watching as there is likes. Make sure you hit that like button. We trying to grow the channel out here. You know what I mean? You niggas is just watching.
What more do you want from me?
Hit that goddamn like button. Major differences between Rogan and Whoopi. Whoopi was having the discussion. Whoopi didn't even say a racial slur or anything negative. Well, they can perceive it as negative, but if she was wrong, she was wrong, but she didn't do anything intentionally to try to have any racial slurs. So we're going to get into that. We're going to do a full breakdown of that. We have a Ben Shapiro reaction in that. I'm looking for a little more insight on that before I get to that live stream, but I think Whoopi was done unfairly, but just because she got suspended on one end doesn't mean I'm going to be like, look, this guy actually used racial slurs. Let's try to get him canceled. He already got his bread. He owns the IP. Spotify tries to cancel him. He's just going to take it elsewhere and make the bread elsewhere, and they're going to lose out on the bag. It was before he got the deal, so that's kind of redundant because YouTube would have been held accountable for that. So all in all, it is what it is. I don't believe in cancel culture either, so fuck that shit. I'm not saying that you can just get up on these major platforms. But the thing is, all right, Rogan started his podcast the same way I started my podcast. You own the infrastructure, you own the IP. He signed a licensing deal with Spotify. Spotify drops him, he still owns the company. Whoopi Goldberg works for The View on CBS. It's a different thing. They can fire her and replace her with somebody else. The show still goes on. It's a difference between being an employee and being a boss of your own company who's self-contracting at the moment when it comes to licensing your podcast to Spotify. It's apples and oranges. I think what India Arie was getting into in the beginning, she was very offended. She was talking about music as the backbone of Spotify, so they should be prioritizing the artist. But let's be real. How many people are actually streaming India Arie's music? How much is she individually affecting the platform? So if she boycotted it and took her music, it's not going to affect Spotify. This is a business at the end of the day. If Joe Rogan leaves, that same trajectory that they had for passing, which they already passed Apple Podcasts and listeners, and leaving them in the dust, those margins will be gone because Joe Rogan is impacting it the most. Academics is doing a good job, but you need a big dog like Rogan. Pause. But we're gonna wrap it up here. A lot more on the way. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Make sure y'all subscribe to Blunt Talk with LT because we uploaded on that page. You're missing half the show if you're not subscribed to Blunt Talk with LT. So yeah, we out. Yeah.